So this was my first like planted terrarium, and I planted it up like, I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna practice and like do it with what I have on hand. I would say I put like a tiny drainage layer, but it's already like non-existent. But that being, so I know I'm gonna have to rebuild this at some point and seal the bottom because it does leak a little, but the plants, I couldn't believe how well the plants grew in here. Especially because I've done like nothing. I have 2 marina lights here, and there is a window here and skylight. So it does get quite a bit of light. I do have 2 crested geckos in here. I do worry it's a bit bright for them, but they seem okay. So far, so good. I feel like I missed, so I blocked this with tape. And this is one of those things that you can buy on Etsy and make like a 20-gallon tank. So I blocked the bottom with the tape, and I blocked this tape, but it still has some air. And I think I mist this down and like water the moss like once or twice a week, which is crazy. Because it doesn't seem like they're getting that much water or humidity, but I don't even have a gauge in here. But anyways, the red Fred begonia has like exploded. It's way too big for that spot, but it's fine because then the leaves kind of droop and a new one pops out pretty quick. The cissus color grows crazy. The moss at the top, the spike moss, it's pretty brown. It would like a less bright position, and it was green for a while, so it might also just be drying. That one definitely I think might be drying out too much, and with like a lower position. Raft tetra, I always rot these for some reason, and it's thriving in here. This Joe Pye had like a little nub, and I could never grow it, and I stuck it like in moss in the cork tube. But the gecko could still get in the bottom of the cork tube, and the gecko can get in behind the corks. There's also Celtipicana, but anyways, this Joe Pye was like nothing, and it's put out leaf after leaf after leaf. So I will probably just take like a top cut or something when it's too big. I don't know. This bromeliad, what the heck? A bromeliad? No, I think it's not a bromeliad. Fern. What do you call them? Like a basket fern and bird's nest fern. Seems okay. It hasn't grown a lot. There's a philo brandy in the back that has been growing quite well. There's a Hoya right here that's been growing well. Some little like weed clovers, but they do fine in here. I stuck like a node of a pothos in the core pole, and it started growing. And there is like another plant in the back. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a Hoya. I'm trying to think. There might be others that I'm missing. Oh, there is a pitcher plant which has not thrived. I think it's either drying out too much or not humid enough in here, or just being overrun by the other plants. But I have put a pitcher plant in a similar terrarium with just in a container, like on a hook with moss, and that one's doing amazing. So I would do that in the future. And I just put whatever I had, like moss. I did put isopods in here, but I don't think they're in here. I've never seen them. Maybe they're in here. This is more for like my own documentation. There's no odor. Oh yeah, there's an ice pod. So there are ice pods in here doing their job. I do not know that I put these in here. I thought I put like pandas. Oh yeah, there's pandas. There's so there's a variety of isopods. I don't think that I did that on purpose, but I think a lot of my isopod. And I see springtails. Okay, so they're doing their thing in here. That explains a lot why everything's doing so well. Although I never see them until I actually like looked. I think a lot of my isopod colonies I just sort of keep for fun, and they're contaminated with like a variety. Oh yeah, you can see all the springtails, so they're doing their thing. And it actually doesn't dry out too much because I don't have great drainage. I don't recommend that. My others with drainage are doing really good too. And you can see the drainage layers, and the others where this you just see. Yeah, I don't know. That's probably not going to go well long term, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. There's all sorts of leaf litter and debris down here. So they're going crazy. That's cool that I saw like literally 3 kinds of isopods right there. That's funny that they're coexisting. That's freaking cool. There's a bark here. Oh, yeah, there's one. See all this spring. Okay, I don't even know. I haven't even looked at the soil life in here. That's pretty sweet. I'm very happy with that because I don't remember doing all this. I don't remember. I thought I put just the pandas in here. And now there's pandas. The armadillo ones, I don't know what they're called, and the black and white speckled ones. It's not a dairy cow. They are like those. I can't remember any of the names of the isopods, but that's so cool. Maybe that is that is a dairy cow. Take that back. So yeah, crazy, right? I even saw like a red panda in here. So that's insane. I did not know the springtails have like taken over. And I have a lot of other beneficials in here, like soil mites. Oh, I think that's a soil, like, see that? That's like a beneficial soil mite. So it seems like they're reproducing because I haven't put anything in here in a while. And I was mad because I saw them all found like the one hole and we're all crawling out at night. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, where are you going? But look at that. I believe that's a beneficial mite. That's so cool. There's another one crawling right there. Wow. That's crazy how life takes hold. There's like a tiny one and then a bigger one. And they're probably going crazy eating the springtails too, which is good. Because they can get a bit out of control. The ones that I ended up at some point with some kind of springtail that grows a bit out of control. I don't know if those are springtails too. Those bigger ones, they must be. Freaking wow. I'll have to look at the floors of my other terrariums and see if they're as interesting as this. Look at that. If you know exactly what something is, let me know. There's this thing's teeming. Okay, so that kind of makes sense why the plants are doing so well. Like this Joe PI doesn't care, and I never had luck. I could never get this thing like to hit the ground running. Sometimes I like order plants off Palm Street and they come tiny and it's just like hard to get them jump started. But this thing, loved it. And I would literally like grow in a cork bark with moss like outside of this. And like maybe just mount it or do something with it. That would be so cool, like on my wall. I really want to do that. So that could come out eventually and become like a display. I don't know. I think it's glued in there though. So we'll see. Pretty cool. It's not like as perfect and beautiful as some because I don't really know how to design a terrarium, but I think for like a first try with just using, I didn't buy a single thing. I just used what I had in the house. So I think that was like pretty good. Literally, I had the tank, I had everything. I had the substrates, I didn't have like a lot of leca, so that I think I just put like perlite and charcoal in the bottom. I mean, the rest of mine all have like leca and bark layers. So cool. I want to make more of these so bad. I have do I have 2? I think 2 big tanks or 1 big tank. Oh, I have 1 big tank, but then the door was broken and they end up sending me a replacement door and another tank. So I have 2 like really big tanks that these geckos will probably, because there's 2 females in here and this isn't that big. So once I build those, these geckos will probably go into like a really, all like my feet. I'll put like 2 pairs, like a female pair in each tank of the big tanks. And then a single gecko could go in here, which would be pretty sweet. If you can get a red Fred, please get one. They're so cool. This plant, I kind of killed mine, that like the mother plant. not killed, but I had to cut it back because it got too crispy. So it's nice to have it like everywhere hanging down. This rock toucher's in a pot in the back. That's so cool.